So every Monday morning at 10 a.m. and every Friday morning, we get together with all the girls. There's two counselors here at Peardenville. You get assigned a counselor when you get here. So my counselor is Cass Button, and so the girls that are with Cass, we all head into the visitors lounge and sit around on comfy couches, and we get asked a question usually by our counselor about something we learned the week before in education group. So it challenges us to remember what we learned as well. And we also get to speak about our feelings in our heart and what we're doing and what we're not doing.
I really, really liked the process group, the way it was put on. Jamie's very high energy, and I like that. She keeps you awake. And the fact that it was more hands-on. I like hands-on. So just being able to be hands-on, like going up to the front board and writing stuff down, or just talking, and how seeing everybody else's perspective to whatever we're doing. It was really neat to see how other people look at the same situation, only different from the way you look at it. Like it's a whole bunch of different angles from one situation. So yeah, I really liked the process group. I felt I got a lot out of it.
And what I like about the processing group with Jamie is that we get into smaller groups and we are able to one-on-one, two-on-two, four-on-four, give each other ideas, hopes, experience, strength, and hope. I love the education groups here at Parentville. They bring you back to learning life skills, coping mechanisms, defense mechanisms. You really get a chance to learn about who you are and what you're all about. There's a lot of times that I've been low self-worth and low self-esteem, and a lot of the other girls can relate, I'm sure. And right away you learn about how to positively speak to yourself, how to retrain your brain. You know, they give us little yellow stickies to put on our mirrors, and we are to use I am statements, and it works. It retrains your brain if you do it for a long period of time. There's no more I am not gonna do this. I am not worth it. I am worth it. I am amazing. I can do anything I put my mind to.
One meeting we have on Fridays is a 12 by 12 meeting. It's a step meeting. And that was my favorite meeting, because when you're here, you're working the steps 1 through 5. And sometimes you don't quite understand them, or you're doing the work but not quite getting it. And the step meetings, you go through each step in the 12 Steps and 12 Traditions book. And they really explain, the deep meaning behind each step. So when you take them, you can truly understand what they are and truly get them. And for me, that it was wonderful, because I could truly feel like I wasn't just doing the work. I was taking the actual steps in my mind, in my heart, and in my spirit.
I I fell in love with sewing here, and I feel like I've in some ways my granny personality has come out. But I made a quilt here, and to make a quilt here, to be able to make a quilt, number one, to actually, coming out of addiction, you can't even sometimes tie your own shoes. To making a quilt, and especially a gratitude quilt for someone you love, from start to finish, gives you the biggest sense of accomplishment. And I call my quilt my soul quilt, because it's something that I made here from start to finish, that I can carry with me, and I actually wrap it around me when I'm having hard days. And the women that teach us are the most beautiful women, and their sincerity, and they don't judge us, and they talk with us like we're humans. And that's kind of something that we're really not used to, or we're not willing to listen to, because we don't let anyone in. So these women come in and volunteer their time, and their husbands fix the machines, and they don't, everything is just out of pure love and gratitude, and they want to help us sincerely, and it really shows. And to see someone accomplish something as small as making a bag or a quilt, for us, it's a huge accomplishment. And that's just, that's like one instance of the activities that Peardenville formulates to help us not only is art a passion of mine, and it's something that I've had my whole life, but I've chosen to ignore through my addiction. You know, the funny thing is, when addiction, you stop seeing color, and you stop seeing things for the kind of the beautiful, the simplicity of how beautiful things are. And as simple as painting a rock, really takes your mind off the hard things and puts your mind on the beautiful things, and how simple something so small and so random can be so beautiful. So we have many kinds of meetings here, and the meetings are a huge part of our recovering in therapy, because it's a fellowship, and it's a trust circle where we basically share our stories and our trials and tribulations. And when you can relate to someone else and hear that their story is similar to your story, it just opens us up. And a big part of our problem is we're like these little kids deep inside, and we can't come out of it. But my favorite meetings that touched me, and I think actually was a huge part of my personal recovery, were the candlelight meetings. When I came in, I didn't have a voice. You know, I wanted to sing, I wanted to speak, I wanted to say how I was feeling on the inside, but we don't know how. We don't know how to share our feelings. We don't know, you're almost like screaming from the inside out, and you just want to be heard. But it's like going into a doctor's office sometimes when you go to certain situations. You know, the lights are on, everyone can see you, everyone can see your tears. But the candlelight meetings are what saved me and actually gave birth to my voice, where I actually started sharing with women my story and hopefully saving others. It's a very soulless, soft place to be in a circle, quiet and warm, and the candles in the middle, and everyone's illuminated, and you feel safe. You feel like you're in a really safe place to share your story. And it's so funny how stronger your voice comes when you're kind of sitting in the dark. But the ironic thing is that most of us have been living in the dark our whole time, so it's a great place to inch the door open a little bit at a time. And they've become my favorite meetings.